guys are watching the Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey. It's a mailbag. We answer your questions. First up, some super thanks from Richard Robinson. We just can't have nice things. Look at how Derrick Henry ran through us in Buffalo. Oh, what could have been? Fire the GM. You could have afforded Derrick Henry. Don't let Jerry Jones gaslight you into saying you couldn't do it. You absolutely could have done so. You had the money then. You definitely have the money now. You could have freed up more money if you wanted to even. The issue was they didn't want to spend at the running back spot at that cost at that age. And if the issue is Jerry doesn't want to come out and say that, and he won't admit that he was wrong. So that's why he's lying about not having enough salary cap space available. They had it. They absolutely did. I'll also say this. I think the Ravens have done a great job of utilizing Derrick Henry. I don't think this offensive scheme that the Cowboys are in, this inside zone stupidity, and the way they block it, I don't think Derrick Henry would have had as much success in Dallas. But it definitely would have been better than what you've gotten out of Ezekiel Elliott. And even Dowdle, Deuce Vaughn, and whatever going to get out of Dalvin Cook. And that came in via Super Thanks. It is a feature here on YouTube. It's just like a Super Chat, but on demand. Because if you can't watch a show live, well, you want to get your question answered, you do a Super Thanks. Edit your message, send in whatever you want, and we'll give you a shout out and or answer your question on the show. Got a $10 Super Thanks from Adam. We could have gone all in or tanked this year. We're stuck in the middle with a nice 9-win season looming. The Joneses can't even suck correctly. That was a point I made so many times during this offseason. You had to make a decision. Either be aggressive and win now or rebuild. And they didn't make that decision, truly did not make it, until about 5 hours before kickoff of week 1 when they paid Dak Prescott. They have made their decision now. It's too late for 2024, though. They're going to have their window in 25, 26, 27, 28, etc. Maybe a little bit after that, maybe not. Maybe it gets closed before that, even if injuries, whatever happen, etc. You waited too long to pay Dak Prescott and Sam, and you missed your window to make your team better in 2024. Now, the 2025 outlook looks a lot better. You can have $100 million in salary cap space with ease, draft picks, potentially a new coaching staff, some renewed hope, etc. But I think 9-10 wins is what you're set up for now, because you let yourself get worse, and you're paying the price for it on the field right now. I want you guys to predict the Cowboys' record this season. They're currently 2-2. They get 9 wins. 10 wins as I predicted. Let me know at the pinned comment of today's video. The ad comes here on YouTube. Take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. Wild Nuts 28. I think we were outcoached against the Giants, like most games. We won because we had the better quarterback. What head coach should we look at for next season? Lots of them. I want a real coaching search. I want to interview Ben Johnson. You want to interview Bill Belichick? Sure. Mike Vrabel? Sure. Brian Flores? You got it. You want to interview Bobby Slowick? You want to interview Clint Kubiak? Awesome. You should do a dozen interviews, at least in round 1. That should be all the Jones boys focus on. I don't care about vacations. I don't care about any of that stuff. Do your damn coaching search properly. Don't interview the bare minimum in back-to-back coaching searches and interview the first guy that you meet. Do a real search. I would love Ben Johnson. A little bit more risk involved there, but he's an innovative offensive mind. I love what he does on offense. That's the route I would go. But I want to interview people. That way, because it's tough to hire a head coach. The stuff that gets you hired as head coach is not what's going to make you a good head coach, right? You're a great offensive mind. Awesome. We want you. That's half the job now. Got to do a real search. DVM. Eagles, Niners, contenders in our situation would have a sense of urgency. Go out and acquire a player to give the team a better chance. Yes. Yes, they would. The Cowboys do not operate like that. Simply don't. I also wonder if you don't have the same urgency either. That's the downside of having no actual GM, of ownership being so heavily involved. If they miss the playoffs, they're not the ones getting fired. McCarthy is. In Philadelphia, San Francisco, those guys miss the playoffs. Their butts are on the line. It's not the case in Dallas. I'm just call him ELC because I didn't know. It was a weird name. Says, thanks. It was trade away Trey Lance for a defensive tackle. If you could find a good defensive lineman, period, or a wide receiver, or running back, hell yeah, Let's ride. I don't think that's going to happen. The reason why so many of us have interested in trading away Trey Lance, because he was bad in the preseason. He had a terrible third game. Other NFL teams have film too. And they're going to go, why are we taking on this half-year rental that isn't ready to play right now and needs development? Doesn't really make much sense. So you can try. It's not a good trading front office, but my hopes are zero right now. So will the Cowboys trade Trey Lance? Y for yes, N for no. Let me know in the comment section of today's show. Marcus Arnold. Trading your second-round pick would be better than actually using the pick in the draft. First up, yeah, they've got a bad track record in the second round. Hopefully Marshall Nealon can break it. He likes the Clowney idea, does not like the Amari Cooper idea. Again, on Amari, the Cowboys let it get personal. They didn't like that he wasn't vaccinated. And even though it wasn't going to be an issue anymore, they got all mad with him and bited him in the media and then traded him. I wonder how that relationship is between all parties involved. Because that would be Dallas coming back and saying, we made a mistake. And that's not how the Jones boys tend to do business. Now, today's show was made possible by Game Time. They got a new feature. It's called Game Time Picks. Makes it so your favorite teams play live even easier. It filters out the fluff to only show you the incredible deals on great seats. You don't have to waste your time searching through thousands of tickets. It is simply curation designed to help you find the best price on great seats, save time, and save money. All-in pricing feature. You toggle it, it'll see your total cost up front, so there's no surprise fees at checkout. And the Game Time guarantee means you'll always get the best price on your tickets. If you find tickets in the same section and row for less, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create your account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. Again, create your account and redeem code CHATSPORTS, CHATSPORTS, for $20 off. Download Game Time today because what time is it? It's game time. From Brit Harry. If that was only with one T, I would have thought if it was like Harry, the Prince Harry, whatever it was, the Brit guy. Would you trade for Davante Adams? I have real doubts that the Cowboys would even consider doing it. I don't like there's money involved. He makes you better. I have doubts on the Cowboys side of things. Specifically the Raiders side, I also have doubts. They trade with Davante Adams. They're saying we're done with this. We're punting already. And that does not go over very well in a locker room. In a bubble, he makes you so much better. He helps you do all the things that you need to do on offense there. So from that angle, from that perspective, I have interest. I think from a practicality perspective, how feasible could this actually be? You know, it kind of starts to border onto the Madden trade idea. Of like, I can make it work in Madden, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I can actually make it work in real life. So it's a fun idea. It's an all-in idea. The Davante Adams trade rumors certainly are not going to stop anytime soon. But I also don't want to give false hope of like, yeah, they can get Davante Adams. You know, this is not how this organization does business. Like the Jets, I'm sure, are trying to talk themselves into how can we get Davante Adams? How can we make that work? We need him. We got to go win now. They have desperation. As an organization, you don't. You don't have that same level of desperation right now, and it shows in everything that you do. Even if you had the desperation, I don't know if the other team involved would really show that much interest in it. I would have some big-time question marks and some doubts in terms of how feasible that would, potentially even realistically be able to be on that front. So when it comes to trades in general, do you think the Dallas Cowboys will make a trade and try to get better and make this team better? Go vote for me in the comments section of today's show. It is a 1 for yes or a 0 for no. Let me know. 1 or 0 in the comments section. Jenkins Gaming. If Dallas traded for Reddick right now, how soon would he be game time ready? Playable in a game? In theory, in time for Sunday, depending on when you did it. But at this point, maybe give him the 5 days, whatever. Like, 100% ready to go. Act like prime Reddick. You missed a lot of time. You kind of got to factor. That's a very good question. You have to factor that in. He might not be the same guy we've seen previously because he's missed so much time already. Daniel M. I think the Cowboys are going to make a trade for the deadline. They can't go deep in the year with no receiver 2, no RB1, no pass up. We need Reddick and Amari. That's fine if you want those guys. I don't think there's a chance. I think there's a chance that neither of those guys get dealt. Period. Guys have to admit their mistake. Cowboys got to spend money on both players. Browns trade Amari Cooper. They're kind of like, yeah, we're out for the season. It takes 2 teams to trade, and you've identified the needs. Absolutely. Does that mean you can make it happen? I'm not so sure. We got free Cowboys videos every single day. So make sure you guys are subscribed. YouTube.com/@CowboysTV. From Johnny Lopez. Would you trade Parsons for multiple picks and or players? His ads have become more of a distraction. Hasn't been very productive. Couple notes. I think the ads has actually been better this year, like in season. I think he's done everything that's been asked of him. The podcast stuff is the podcast stuff. It is what it is at this point. He's been good. The production's down. I don't necessarily think that is because Micah's not played well. Turns out you can't rush the passer on like two true dropback sets. I do think you have to make a decision, though. If you're going to pay him before free agency. And if you're not going to pay him, trade him. Because you can get a big haul back, or you can keep your premier pass rusher. Make your decision, and then don't drag it out and not have the cap space available. That's what I would do. King Trill. This is a great point here for our final question. With how things ended in Dallas with the Jones boys, would Cooper even want to come back to Dallas? It's a very valid question. I don't know. He said about talking about the Cowboys when they played him that week, so maybe still open to it. He still lives in Dallas. Granted, a lot of players do outside of the Cowboys team. I also think that do the Jones boys want him back? That's admitted that they were wrong, that they screwed up. They don't like doing that. They still won't admit that running back's a need. They still think that their team they did everything right this offseason. They're a little bit delusional from that point. So I think that is a very valid point to bring up, King Trill, and you might be right.